What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about how you can turn your single family home into a potential money maker by creating separate units that you can potentially rent out. Stick around to get all the details. See you on the other side. All right, guys, thanks again for sitting down with me today and watching my video. If you like this, please go ahead and like and subscribe, and feel free to comment if you have any questions. But today I wanted to discuss was how you could potentially create more supplemental income by splitting up your home legally without having to go through too many bells and whistles and contacting a bunch of people and getting a bunch of permits, okay? Now, take this with a grain of salt. Always double check with an architect, engineer, or the planning department. But basically what I wanted to talk about today is how you could turn your home into what I like to call a multi-generational home. And that's the term we use here in Hawaii when it comes to basically having separate entrances, okay? What you could potentially do, let's say you have a 3 or 4 bedroom house with 2 or 3 bathrooms, and you see that, I could put a wall up here, or I could create a door there where there could be a separate entrance for somebody. Now, you legally can do that by basically setting up a separate entrance so people can have their privacy, and you can put up a wall to separate the units, but you need to make sure that there is a door between that wall. So technically you have interior doors to all of the spaces in the house. You can't just cut it off and put walls and say only one way in, one way out, because then that technically would be a separate unit. We're creating a multi-generational unit. So you need to have a door there. You can just set it up so that it's locked, or that user has, a key to it so they can lock it themselves, and that door just pretty much stays closed the whole time. But what you've done here is now you've created a separate unit that you could potentially rent out. Maybe you guys are empty nesters. Maybe you had all the kids living at your place, but they all graduated, they all moved, they've got their own kids and their own family. Now you have all these extra bedrooms. Imagine the potential of helping with that mortgage payment, or even supplementing income by simply setting it up so that you can have a separate entrance and have somebody come in and they can basically just live there and pay you rent. Now, the one caveat here is that legally, and if you've seen in some of my other videos, I go over residential zoning, per single family home, you can only have one legal kitchen, which includes a sink, refrigerator, and an oven. So someone is very rarely gonna wanna pay rent at a place that doesn't have a full kitchen. So technically, depending on your zoning, let's just say, for example, you have a home that's on an R10 lot. So 10,000 square feet is what you need, and you're only allowed to build one single family home with one legal kitchen. Now, what do? Well, what you can do is you can basically set up what we like to call a wet bar. What is that? That's basically you're gonna have a sink and a refrigerator. Now, you can do a couple things to work around this, is basically create a mobile stove. And that can be accomplished in a couple different ways. I mean, you can basically throw a stove in there, but if you want to sell the place, you got to sell it without the stove in there, because you're only technically supposed to have a wet bar. The other option is you can do a hot plate. Once again, it's mobile, right? So you can take it out if you need to sell the place, but you are allowed more or less to set it up the way you want, but just keep in mind that if you're gonna sell the place, you're gonna have to remove that. This is simply just a general overview of some strategies of how you can create potential income with your home by separating units, by creating a multi-generational style home. Anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. If you guys have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is Patrick Longley with PatrickLongleyRealty.com. You guys have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.